Let's talk about anti-communism. This is from the book Socialist Reconstruction, A Better Future for the United States. Because this country's ruling class has represented the center of global anti-communism, the unofficial religion of the United States, this has left a pronounced imprint on all political life and mass consciousness here. Progressive and working class movements that in most other countries would naturally move in the direction of socialism do not automatically do so here. Even movements in US history that have had socialist or pro-socialist leadership either had their histories erased or had self-censored in order to not be crushed or isolated. The imperialist state has also has additional resources to co-opt and buy out sections of the working class's leadership, even supporting some of their demands so long as they renounce any pretense of socialism. Compared to other advanced capitalist societies, the ruling class institutions here have thoroughly marked socialism as illegitimate, not even worthy of consideration, and even discussion of it amounting to treason. In such a climate, the class struggle itself will be insufficient to overcome anti-socialism in the United States. It is illusory to think that socialists can win over the great mass of the working class by virtue of their good deeds and dedication alone, keeping their heads down ideologically, and then announce themselves as socialists when a revolutionary crisis arises. This will be seen or attacked as a bait and switch and rejected by a majority of the working class if all their prior exposure to socialism is of a negative character. In this situation, anti-socialist and even right-wing groups are more likely to emerge as beneficiaries of the accelerating contradictions of capitalism, since their solutions have been more widely in circulation and deemed respectable. The opposition to and wariness of socialism must be overcome in advance of bigger crises and on an ongoing basis during periods of capitalist stability. Socialists must fight for the battle of ideas now, wherever we can and as openly as is practical, in such a way that links the everyday struggles with the necessity of a new system, socialism, as the only solution to the problems of capitalism. This has already started to happen thanks to the cascading crises of capitalism, rising popular social movements, and the political breathing room that is open absent the Cold War context. The fog of anti-communism is already lifting. But unlike an actual fog, it won't go away by itself. Any space that is opened must be fought for and expanded. The historical breakdown between the US working class and popular movements on one side and the political movement for socialism on the other can only be overcome by building pro-socialist consciousness on a much larger scale. Political education and exposure to socialism cannot be confined to study groups alone. Transforming mass consciousness will in turn create the political space for more powerful socialist organizations and for more movements and leaders to openly attach their projects to a socialist horizon. What does the battle of ideas consist of in our moment? Winning a majority of the US working class to socialism, or to be accepting of it, requires contending above all with the myth that socialism is a failed project, that socialist leadership and planning lead to economic stagnation or poverty, and that socialism is undemocratic. Socialists in the United States in the 21st century must contend, in other words, with generations of nonstop indoctrination about the actual experience of socialist governments. We do not have the luxury of presenting socialism as just a new idea, because at the end of the day, people have been trained to think that socialism will not work, even if they like the idea in theory. This book shows how much could be improved once the working class has power. It shows that a new system is both workable and plausible.